Welcome back, family, and happy, somber. I don't know if you want to say happy Memorial Day. It's a happy day, it's a good day off, but let's not forget what the reason that we are uh, taking this day off is in remembrance of all those that have given the ultimate price in trying to protect not just their countries, but their families, their beliefs, and that doesn't not. I know it's an American holiday, but worldwide, and I know we have people that watch this show from all around the world, and no matter what country you're from, if you have lost a loved one, a family member, a friend, a relative, uh, that somebody that has gone to go fight to protect your country, your family, your town, your state, whatever they worldwide, they all deserve to be recognized and respected. Um, just if somebody comes from a country that doesn't align with my country, that's the politicians that are not aligning. Okay, um, I've met people from every single country, and ones that they quote unquote hate Americans. They don't hate me, and I don't hate them because we're just, as Nietzsche said, the muddled masses. We're trying to get through this crazy world. So let's everybody say a little prayer for every single person worldwide and every family member worldwide that is uh, taking a moment, hopefully, to just remember that family member that gave the ultimate sacrifice to trying to protect what is dear to their hearts. Okay, and I started looking at this list a couple minutes ago. I tried looking at this list about 2 hours ago, and it wasn't up. And I was actually wondering if I had to cancel this show because I figured, well, maybe it's a holiday, they're not updating. No, they updated this late. So the reason I started this show 2 minutes late is because I was starting to look at the list and looked over, went, oh no, let's start the show. So already checking in, we've got Robert Monroe Jr. Good evening, Rich and the Coconut family. Hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. I was going to grill, but decided to make pulled pork sandwiches, coleslaw, and potato salad instead. Well, I don't know what the weather is like up there, but down here in Georgia right now, it is overcast, hot, muggy. So pulled pork, coleslaw, and potato salad sounds wonderful. So I'm hoping you're enjoying that. 25 Perez also checking in. Again, continued condolences there, sir. Robert, you were supposed to go see Thunderbolts this weekend. I'm waiting for a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 on what you thought about it. Okay, so let's, while we're waiting for Robert to type in those magic little digits, let's jump right into this list. And again, I started looking at some of them, so I don't know what a lot of these are. We're going to be taking them um, pretty blind this week. We have Invisible Iron Man, issue number 9. First full appearance of Riri Williams, later becomes Ironheart. And this is because the Ironheart series, I think, is dropping in, like 3 weeks or something like that. And I think they're doing the same thing as they did with Andor, dropping 3 episodes per week. I do not foresee me staying up late to watch these. Kenneth Bird is checking in as well. Come on, mouse. There we go. Hopefully you're having some good weather there in Kenneth, and happy or respectful Memorial Day to you. Didn't make it to the movies. Oh no, I'm on vacation this week, so I'll probably hit a matinee. Well, that's a good way to do it. Try to save a little bit of money. I understand. Yeah. So Riri Williams, if you remember what this book used to sell for, oh my God, how it dropped off the face of the earth. I actually sent off raws, and I was so excited when they came back at 9.8. Man, I should have sold this. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't scrolled down, but I remember this being like $600. Let's see what the highest known sale was. Oh my God, it actually hit 1,000. Oh my God, I don't even want to know what it sells for now. 155, and that's up from the FMV of 118. Oh my goodness. High grade near mint raw is going for 51. I think I spent like $40 on the raw and sent it off and got a 9.8. And I was thinking I should sell this at 600. No, this is going to be a big thing. Boy, yeah, like I told you, I don't rely on me for a concrete information here, guys. I definitely make mistakes, And speaking of mistakes, I got one right now. Is I did not start. The most important thing is that's the banner going down at the bottom, reminding everybody to check out Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics and Comics Curing Cancer. So, look, 155 is already $37 higher than the FMV, and that means it pulled the value up on that. So, wow, that means that must have been selling for like 100 to 110. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Do not. If this was a serious book that would be investable, this book would already be up at $300-400 knowing that the show's about to come out. The fact that it is only up to 155 shows that the majority of collectors already know that this is not going to go anywhere. People are pulling them out of their boxes and putting them up saying, oh yeah, look, the show's about to drop. And they're, this book is going to drop like a stone. Okay. I saw the trailers of this show. I do not anticipate this being a good show. I don't think it's going to be as bad as Secret Invasion. Battlefield Earth has a hard time being as bad as Secret Invasion. But I don't think there's a lot of love for this character anymore. There's not a lot of expectations, a lot of hope, a lot of optimism. And based on what I saw in the trailer, I think that those expectations are going to be justified. So I think once this show goes completely, I would not be surprised if this is the last we see of Riri Williams in the MCU. And that, it's a shame because it is a good character in the comic books. They're just not representing properly in the movies. And I think this book is going to drop a lot. I think that 118 people will be very happy to get 118 for a 9.8 in 6 months from now. So don't be going and getting this book at 155 for sure. Oh, this is a nice cover. Dr. Creepy, the 1 in 25. Mark Spears, issue number 4 for Mark Spears Monsters, rather. I love this cover. Just haven't found a decent copy for the price I wanted. Well, let's see. People pre-ordered the 9.8 for $150 back in February, but you can get a near mint copy just over 27. So it's rated ratio. All right. So, and why is a 1 in 25 Mark Spears Monsters only going for ratio? Because the stores know everybody wants Mark Spears Monsters. The stores are ordering a ton, and there's a ton of covers to get. So show more. This is issue number 4. This is issue number 4. This is issue number 4. So basically, if they bought like one copy of each, then they would have had enough store credit to buy a copy of the 1 in 25. Every store is going to wind up with 5, 6, 7, 10 copies of this book. So ratio is going to be, it's a great artwork, and I think 25 is a fair price, but it'll never go up. I just think based on its artwork, it might go down to like 18 to 20, but that's about it. But it's just not going to, go take off. I'm sorry. I think that Ironheart may make an appearance in Black Panther 4. I would. What about Black Panther 3? I'm like, I had to think about that. Like, we've only had 2 movies, right? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she makes an appearance or if she has an appearance in the Avengers, but I don't think it's going to be. I think we got a better chance of seeing She-Hulk than we do. Okay, so I'm not losing my mind. I'm sorry. I'm not living on pulled pork and coleslaw and potato salad. I'm sitting here just drinking coffee. I don't know. There's a lot of CGI that goes into Riri and She-Hulk, and if they don't feel like it's going to further the storyline, A, and B, make people want to go buy tickets, then they're not going to include the characters. You got Captain America, Civil War, throw Spider-Man in. Absolutely, people are going to pay. Extra people are going to go pay to go see that. Anything else with Riri? Maybe, maybe not, probably not. I don't know. Anyway, getting back to this one, 20 to 25 is about where this book is going to be. Um, I know that it should go for less, but it really is a cool cover. It really would look cool on a wall. So, and I can see posters being made of this. So I don't think it's going to drop too much. It's just not going to shoot up in value because there's just too many of them. Number 18, we have the Fantastic Four 2025 facsimile 1 in 25. Reprints the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. Oh, God, it's a issue 48. Not facsimile. God, I hate when they do this. Honestly, I'm so glad that Fantastic Four 48 didn't look like that. No, I am so glad that Fantastic Four 48 did not look like that. That cover that we got back in 1967, 6, whatever the heck year it was. I think that that's a great cover. And the 1 in 25 facsimile, $16. Very fine. $30 for near mint. That was a few days ago. So yeah, there's your cover. That's the one right there. So yeah, it's no, I don't see this one even holding $15 in the long run. I think stores are gonna be happy to get rid of it at 12. Sorry. I don't like facsimiles. It's a contradiction in terms. Thanos Imperative Devastation #1 from January of 2011. This is the first appearance of the Annihilators. This was on last week's list as well. I don't think it was on 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. I see the current trend is down almost 3%. No recent sales of the slabbed versions. Actually, the last sale of a 9.8 was 2019, 2020. That's 6 years ago since they've sold the slab books. Yeah, that's because nobody wanted it. 2018, it was selling for $128. 2019, it was selling for $21. So, and that's a 9.8. So near mint selling for 25. No, thank you. You can keep it. Nobody's cared about these characters for 10 years. All of a sudden, they're important. Even if they're in one of the storylines, it just makes me think, oh, look, Thunderbolts Part 2. So please do not go rushing out and buying a $25 raw copy of this book. I pretty much guarantee you, if you hunt enough, you will find this in some store's dollar bin. Zatanna #4. This is the 1 in 25. And actually, this is a beautiful cover. It really is. Her facial definition, and I understand that people aren't looking at her face, but her facial definition, the background, the smoke, the card, the worn look on the card, it's really a good cover. I do like it a lot. Yes, exactly. I mean, people want to buy a facsimile because they can't afford the real one, or they just want to have a chance to sit down and read the original without accidentally screwing up the real one. So why do you have to change the cover on a reprint? I don't know. I mean, it's like if all of a sudden I said, see this is my homage to Amazing Spider-Man 300, but I've changed it. So it's a changed homage. Does that make sense? Anyway. Yeah, it's up 23%. That's cool. And again, this is a 1 in 25, just came out last week. That's a cool cover too. Highest on value 50, last sale 41. So it's a little over 1.5 times ratio. It actually peaked at double ratio, which means it probably is not going to hold value. A lot of studies, a lot of data that was provided and research by JP's Budget Collecting has shown us this. I tend to agree because there's just too many ratios out there. But judging from how much I do love this cover, I may go hunting for this one when it comes down to around 20, which I think you'll see it within 3 months. Next up, let's see. We got Fantastic Four issue number 5, another non-facsimile facsimile. And honestly, this was on the list last week. I don't even like the art. I do not like this art. I'm sorry. That hand belongs on like General Grievous or something. I don't know. It's just, ugh, I don't like it. So it's a 1 in 25. I mean, seriously, you have to see how skinny the fingers are. His fingers have got to be inside that. So if his fingers inside that, how bony are they? Anyway, 1 in 25 facsimile from Ryan Brown. Last sale at $49 for a near mint. Highest sale known was 60, so this is down a little bit from that point. It's under double ratio, which means it's going to fall down to ratio at 25. It may have some decent value in the long run, and the only reason I could see why is if this is a good book to get autographed by anybody that, I mean, I don't think that Downey Jr. is going to be doing a show circuit, but anybody that's something to do with Dr. Doom, this would be a cool book to get autographed. Other than that, I don't see any real reason to collect this book at all. The artwork's not that good. Sorry, Mr. Ryan Brown. I'm sure that you still can draw a million times better than me, but not as good as other people. There we go. So, oh God, how much I wish I could have that book. All right, next up we have The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh God, this is still on this list. It won't go away. Issue number 546 from the Brand New Day storyline. Oh, it was like winning Pulitzers, I'm sure. First full appearance of Mr. Negative. First appearance of the second Jackpot. And the first cameo appearance of Freak. Okay, let's see. It's slightly up. I expected it to go up before in the long run it goes down. Oh my God, a 9.8 just sold for $53. Is that real? 9.6 sold for 59. Whoa, what the heck? Could that have been a different version? I guess it's possible. Let's see some sales data on this book. I see FMV of 186, but I see sales of 50 some odd dollars. 53, 275, 187, 225, 124. His numbers are all over the dang place. 59, 100, 83, 99, 79. Did I say that right? 27? Yeah. Last sale of a 9.8 was 2 days ago, 275, and the sale before that was $53. Oh my God. The biggest problem with when we get these first appearances of these characters is it seems like every single week there's 5 new characters, and we don't know which ones to collect. So people are like, I'm going to buy them all just so I'm covered. So this way, 5 years from now, when one of them turns out to be Venom or one of them turns out to be the Punisher, I've got that character and I'm going to be fine. What you don't realize is you're collecting a lot of books that are just going to turn out to be worthless. And if you didn't buy 100 books at $3 a piece, okay, and you said, okay, I'm just going to take that $300 and buy whichever character turns out to be the hot one. I've tried to stay away from a lot of these brand new books. I mean, I buy a few every couple, what do you call it? Every new comic book day, I try to pick 1 or 2 that I think might be good, but I don't go out and buy as much as I used to. I stopped. And the amount of money I'm dumping every single Wednesday is much less. That's first off. Second off, I was almost to the point where I needed to take out a storage facility for all these dang books that I'm buying that are just turning into dollar bin fodder. And as a result, now I have excess money to buy a book. And so last November, I saw a book shooting up in price and said, that's the one I should have bought when it was new, but I didn't buy all the other new ones. So now I have the money to focus on exactly the one that is going to turn into something new. And as it was going up, I got a Mark Spears Monsters cover A, Marks and Spencer's number one, cover A in a 9.8. And it's still continued to go up. So it's worth about double what I paid for it. I didn't feel bad about spending close to like $180 on this comic book because I didn't spend $200 on a bunch of books that I didn't in the long run I didn't want. Okay, so I'm just trying to put things into perspective. Yeah, I don't want to spend $200 when I could buy it for $3. I get that. But what about the other 99 books that you bought for $3? That you'll put in a box and never look at again. Okay, altogether, that's $300 you spent on books trying to get one. Just sit back, take a deep breath. And if it turns out that it went from $3 to $1,000 and you missed it, okay, you missed it. There are millions of comic books out there. You're not going to get them all. I've tried. And you'll get ones that make you feel great. You'll get other ones that you look at and go, why did I spend that? And anytime you feel like you need a shoulder to cry on, come on over. I got a big shoulder right here. I've got copies of Paper Girls #1. I've got books that will make you that you can look at and go, I don't feel so bad anymore. All right, so let's get back into this. I still think this book is, well, at $50 for a 9.8. Yeah, that's where I think this should be. $225? Heck no. So this book is all over the place. It's way too volatile. It's not a great storyline. It's not a bunch of characters that we really care about. So let's try to avoid it. Next up, we have the Helverine issue number 5, the Alessandro Cappuccio Hell Hulk cover. This was on last week's cover also. I thought Hell Hulk was already a character, though. Or maybe I'm just thinking of the one beneath all when he took over the Hulk or imbued him with power or whatever. Anyway, first cover appearance of Hell Hulk. Let's see. And trend is definitely down. Last recorded sale was $1. Really? Yeah, guess so. 9.8 sold about a week ago for $52. Okay, so 9.8. When did this book come out? April. So yeah, they're getting 9.8s back already, and it's selling it, with shipping back and forth and grading, you're looking at like $32, $33 a piece. So this is a 9.8 for a $20 profit, and that's all they got for it. This book is going to continue to go down. You're going to be able to find this for $35 to $40, people just trying to recoup their investment in a 9.8 or cover price for a raw. Okay, wait, let me see here. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. We got one more after this. Invincible, issue number 19, the Ryan Ottley Battle Beast Blind Bag Edition foil. All right, guys, real quick, I just want to say this. Anybody that's buying any of the sketch or any of the Battle Beast Ottleys, Ottley has actually put out a service alert, I guess you'd say, or an alert to all his fans. And I want to just make sure everybody knows this. There are a lot of frauds, a lot of fakes, a lot of, counterfeits on the market. So please be very careful. It is caveat emptor, buyer beware. If you're looking at something and the deal is too good to be true, it most probably is. Don't get burned on spending $1,000 on a book, finding out that it's a counterfeit worth nothing. Okay. All right. That being said, though, this is also from May 14th, 2 weeks ago. This is reprinting the first appearance of Battle Beast, Magnattack, Magmaniac, and the Tether Tyrants. Trend is going downwards. And let's see. Near mints are selling for $10 and 9.8 selling for $54. Okay. Well, it's not like every other Invincible book from 10 years ago, because those books nobody was buying. Now everybody wants everything Invincible because they're expecting it to go up. It's kind of like the 1989, 1990 baseball card market. I'm buying this book so I can put my kids through college. It doesn't work that way. So I think this book is already $10 is not a bad price for it. It's an interesting. It's not the best cover that they've had. Although I'd like to see that in a foil. I think that would look good in a foil. But if you like it for $10, maybe it goes down to $8 and you lost $2. It's not that big a deal. Just, and enjoy it. Okay, so we got one more for the halfway part, and it is another Battle Beast book, Invincible Universe. This is issue number 2, the Ryan Otley and Annalise Leone Battle Beast Blind Bag Advanced Edition foil. Wow, do not uh, miss those really long titles. This also came out 2 weeks ago. See a little tiny bump in the current trend. It's also selling for $10. It's an Invincible Universe book. I think in the long run, these Battle Beast books are going to be kind of like the uh, what was the name of the Berserker books, where there was so many covers that they came out, they were expensive, then they all felt like a stone, then they kind of crept back up again in price. And I think that's because a lot of people do love the Invisible Universe, and I think it's going to drop down a little bit, probably hitting more like about 7 to 8. But then in the long run, it'll slowly creep back up again. It's an issue number 2, but it is a foil. And again, it's another book that would really look nice on a foil. So I'd hold off on it. I think there's going to be enough people that are going to be trying to sell these things. All right, so we are going to take a quick intermission so I can say thank you to all the Patreon members and all the YouTube members, which the screen is now updated. This is not the end of the show. We're just, like I said, I want to say thank you to all the people that help support the channel to keep us going. So if you see your name on the list, thank you very much. If you'd like to see your name on the list, down below, you can click on to go to YouTube and join us as a YouTube member, or in the description, you'll see the link for our Patreon if you'd like to join that. Okay. Anyway, though, let me see if I can get this. Here we go. The new one. Yay. And special thanks to Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics for putting about 2/3 of the names on that list by gifting memberships. Oh, he just wants to see me type, I swear. Oh man, I didn't even get a chance to watch this week's Only Slabs. I was stuck at work on Saturday. I wanted to do it yesterday, and we wanted to go out and taking care of a few things. By the time I got home, I was just so tired, I forgot. I should have done that today. I'm going to do that as soon as the show's over because I love watching Only Slabs. All right. Going to jump into the top 10. Here we go. We have a Marvel team up. Issue number 14, Battle Beast Blind Bag Edition. Yeah, it's Spider-Man meets Invincible. Okay. I don't know if the two really work very well. Reprints the first meeting of Spider-Man and Invincible. So they met at some point from two different comic book companies. I mean, it's not the first time. They've had Marvel and DC have crossovers. They're usually not big sellers. They're more of a nostalgic buy than anything else. See, the trend is down. 9.8 sold for 120. A little over a week ago. No sales since. Near Mint selling recently for 25. Near Mint Plus selling for 37. So it's a blind bag edition. And it's a foil. I think that this whole Battle Beast bag thing it's a nice little fad. It's cute and everything, but I just don't think it's a good investment for long term. That's all. Last week's Only Slabs was really good. Lots of Golden Age books. I gotta go check that one out. You know me, I love my Golden Age books. Oh man, I missed out. It was like one person had like so many auctions of slabbed and graded Golden Age Disney books, right up my alley. But I wasn't going for like the 3s and the 4s, but some of them were like 6s, 7s, 8s from the 1940s graded books, and I missed out on like every freaking one of them, man. Every single one I was outbid at the last second. And I was actually putting in fair bids, but they were just going for more, which is good. Makes me feel good about my other Disney books. The only one I won was $20 shipping for one book, but it's the first comic book I ever bought from Sweden, so I can't complain. It's not a Swedish edition, by the way. It's an American edition, but it just happens the guy's selling from Sweden. So I got books coming from all over the world. I think this one's going to drop down when the interest wanes. That's just my opinion on it. Superman: A Friendship Unleashed, issue number 1. Yeah, I figured this is going to be going down. I actually have a copy of this on the way and supposed to be in this week. You can still go to the Milkbone website, okay? And it was, I think, like limit 1 per person. They might be sold out now, but it seems like I think that what they're doing is like they're putting it out in waves, so that way not what everybody doesn't completely sell out everything all at once. But it is limit 1 per person. And just so you know, I think it's like $6 or $7 for the box of milk bones, and then it's like $12 in shipping. So it comes out to about $20 to buy one of these things. I'm undecided whether or not I want to give the dogs the dog biscuits or just keep the entire thing wrapped up as a package. Put in your comments. Maybe I'll just keep it the whole thing. It depends on how it comes in. If I can keep the whole thing wrapped up as a package, I'll buy. I don't give my dog's milk bones. I give him better stuff than that. But what do we got with the prices going on this? $56 for a near mint, $70 for near mint plus. As well as the high grade Golden Age books. So many were donated for recycling for the war effort or destroyed in the post-war anti-comic book hysteria. I think more of the EC books were destroyed. I don't think so much of like, well, I know Disney books weren't destroyed. I mean, who's going to burn Mickey? But you may have had like the World War II books that really had derogatory depictions of Germans and Japanese. I could see those being burned. But it was mainly the horror that got destroyed. But yeah, when I see like high grade books from the Golden Age, also knowing that the printers that they used only had very, very, very limited numbers of colors that they could use, and how they can make some of those colors really, really pop. It's gorgeous. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an idea. This is a book that I did buy a while back, and I didn't show it on Only Slabs a couple weeks ago because I had too many books. I had too many books since my last show. But this is a book from 1946. It ran, I think, for like 12 or 13 issues, and then it stopped. It was from Quality Comics, fall of 1946. It's called The Barker. It was like a carnival book or whatever. But the colors on this thing just absolutely pop. And this is, yes, it's an 8.5. But nobody ever heard of this thing. And on the back, it's got the ad for Ever-Ready batteries, showing that how you could change a tire at night. Thanks to Ever-Ready batteries. You can change a tire at night. But yeah, I know somebody at work that actually he took a picture of this. He wants to get that as a tattoo on his arm. He just said that's a sick looking clown. Yeah, I love that. It's very, very simple. The colors are very limited, but they just made it pop. The artwork was good in it. The story was not good. Anyway, that's not why everybody's here. Don't get me started on tangents. Come on, man. All right, so what can we look at? Oh yeah, I think this is going to drop down a bit. I don't think this is going to hold because I don't know how many more copies are being released by Milkbone. And even if it is pretty limited, once the movie passes by, God forbid they kill off crypto, I think the interest in this is going to drop down a bit. So before you go and buy a copy at $56, just double check on Milkbone's website and see, or even Amazon, and see if it's back in stock where you can get yourself a copy of the Superman movie special Milkbone box, which comes with a comic book. Okay. Even if it does, if you can't get it, I still think that you're going to be able to get it for less than 56 after the movie comes out. Next up, we have Exquisite Corpses. This is the Secret Foil issue number 1. Um, I don't know how secret foil. I guess most of the time, secret books are like 1 in 10. Um, but I don't have a number on this one. I see that issue number one, regular, it's still holding at $5. The other ones have not moved, and there's a lot of different issues on this. See, look at all the issues and the different copies of number one. This is a book that was extremely highly ordered, and everybody was anticipating it. 9.8 just sold for 140, which is a pre-sale. Nobody has it back yet. Near Mint Raw is selling for 75. This kind of reminds me of the Department of Truth Lee Harvey Oswald cover, which was also a secret variant. And I think it turned out to be a 1 in 10. And I know I said this last week as well. So if they printed enough copies and it turns out to be enough of these copies, that's already going to kill the price. The second thing is, how well is the story going to go on? Department of Truth has already kind of lost a bit of its following. I stopped reading it because I just thought it was too convoluted. I didn't like it. I know people are going to say that I just wasn't intelligent enough for it. Probably right. But I just think that this is going to follow that same idea. Secret foils, when people don't know how many it is, they buy because they're afraid. Well, what if it's like 1 in 1,000? It's not. Frederick Wortham had people convinced that all comics were dangerous. Batman and Robin had suspicious relationship. Wonder Woman had a lot of BDSM. Yes, sorry. There were all the horror and crime books. Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that. But I think if you were a kid, you could argue to your parents that you could keep your Superman books, your Wonder Woman, your Captain America, um, Batman and Robin a lot better than you could if you went to your mom and dad and said, "Look, you can't take away my book and it's got a decapitated head on it." You know, that's why those decapitation covers are gone, because it's, parents just scooped those and was, oh no. I'm wondering if he's LOLing about the decapitation thing or about the yes to the Wonder Woman in the BDSM. Marsden, maybe Marsden, whatever his name was. Look, I got some. I think it's issues number 16 and 17 of Wonder Woman, and um, the cover art is, it's like so classic. It's great, and there's no BDSM on it. Anyway, I think this book is going to drop in price by quite a lot. I think this, in a year, the raws are going to be more like $15 to $20. So this is definitely a candidate for bust of the week. Mark Spears Monsters number one. This is the fifth printing, 1 in 20 Evil Dead homage. Cool. Cool that he's laughing at it. That's all. All right. So Mark Spears issued the fifth printing. Again, stores were buying a lot of these. Everybody loves Evil Dead. I would love to have this book double signed by Mark Spears and Bruce Campbell. That would just be awesome. It's like getting a book of Mary Poppins signed by the guy that played Yondu and Undanta. But 1 in 20 homage to the fifth print, and I know I bought fifth print. So $100? Really? What'd the fifth print look like here? Give me a second. Oh my god, that one? Yeah. No, heck, I got a couple copies of that myself. And the store had a ton of those. Stores bought the fifth print so they could get their hands on this. This is not holding $100, guys. This is going to be more like 40, 50. Ooh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's what his color palette show, it always reminds me of. I don't like the distressed cover because I'm not a fan. But look at the blue in the eyes too. Oh gosh, that's great. I will absolutely be on the hunt for this book in 4 months, 5 months when it's down to $35 to $40. I don't even know if it's going to take that long to get there. Oh, no. To put the banner back on. There it is. Okay. Back to the comments. So, yeah. And as much as I hate to say it about a Mark Spears Monsters book, I think this is another candidate for Bust of the Week. All right. The Curse of Shirley Johnson, the 1 in 50. Again, Ryan Otley. First appearance of Beliafan, the Crimson Seraph, and the Stranger. It's a cute cover. I actually like the McFarlane better. Well, I like the price of the McFarlane better too. I did buy the McFarlane, and I think I've got a copy of the McFarlane. Yes, I do have a copy of the McFarlane cover in this week's giveaway. So, highest known raw, $139 on the 25th. That was yesterday, and then today, no, in the same day, one sold for 81. Yikes. Okay, so 139 puts it at almost triple, but 81 puts it at 1.6%, 160% above ratio. 1.6 times. 1.602 times. Yeah, I again, I know stores bought 50 copies of this book. There's a McFarlane in there. And people love to buy the McFarlanes. So stores may have bought 50 copies, hedging their bets just to get that 1 in 50 Ryan Otley. If that's the case, and it averages out to be one per store, that means it's going to be about 2,500 or so, which is kind of high print for something like this. I see it coming down. If it was McFarlane that drew the 1 in 50, I could see it going up or holding value because you just got the McFarlane Maniacs. Nothing wrong with you guys, by the way. I happen to love his art since day one also. But the fact that it's an Otley, which is still a great artist, but it's not McFarlane. 81, I'm thinking in a few weeks, this is going to be down to right around ratio, 45 to 50 bucks. Next up, we have the Avengers, and it says 30-cent cover price. That is the normal cover price. Okay, there is a 35-cent variant, which was done regionally. I believe this came out the same exact month as Star Wars #1. So now you have an idea of what was going on. They were experimenting in certain markets with a 35-cent price to see if people would be willing to pay that extra nickel. This is the first appearance of Jocasta. Now, I don't know of any specific news of Jocasta. I do know that we are going to be getting the Vision Quest series. And from what I'm hearing, that will probably be the last MCU series on Disney Plus. I think they're not just pulling back. I think they're ending their investment of Disney Plus series on Marvel series on Disney Plus, which is a shame because if they do it right, they do it does well. I think if that is the last one, they say that's it, we're not doing it anymore. I see their subscription dropping off quite a lot. I think it's a bad market for bad idea for them. I understand there's a lot of families out there that have kids that I have to have the Disney Plus just like keep the kids quiet. There's a lot of people like me with no kids that have Disney Plus, so I can watch this stuff. And now that being said, Vision Quest, if it goes the route that I think it might have him with Jocasta because that is something that happened in the comics. I'd like to see that. I think it could be interesting. Still doing special features. I think so, but I just don't think they're going to pump in $200 million into a 10-episode series. They don't get a tangible return on that when they could just make the movie, put it in the movie theater, and then people keep the subscription, so um, they continue watching there. Um, if Jocasta is in this series, uh, then this book can have a nice little spike. I would love to see Jocasta in the MCU. I've always loved that character. It's got Ultron right there on the cover. It's really nice artwork on this thing. Now let's look at prices on this. 9.8 selling for $275. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's not terrible for a 9.8 for a 1977 book, which we are 2 years away from this being a 50-year-old book. The tough part here is finding a 9.8. But 9.6 at 130, or look at this, near mint raws for $50. If you've got that good discernible eye and you could pick out a 9.8 from a near mint copy, $50 is not bad for a 50-year-old Avenger first appearance of a character that has a good potential to be in the MCU. And I do believe we are going to be getting Ultron back. I think the voice actor's already signed on, and not as a cameo, but to actually be in it. So if Ultron's going to be there, Vision's going to be there, chances are Jocasta is going to be there too. So this might be even though it's on the hot list, this might be a sleeper at $275. If she appears when the trailer comes out, this may jump up quite a lot and then come back down after the series ends. Because I don't think that she'll survive the series. I think they're going to want to have Vision come back with Wanda. Oof. 275 is still a lot of money to drop, but for a 50-year-old Avengers 9.8, it's tough to find. I'd love to know the census on that. It can't be high. But a near mint one, that'd be nice too. That's not a bad buy. Web of Spider-Man issue number 36, first appearance of Tombstone. What has prompted this book to be on this list? I mean, Tombstone was in the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated series, but season 1 has been out for a while. Season 2 is a long ways away. Then that involved Tombstone. I'm wondering if they're starting to put together Brand New Day. I don't think Tombstone is listed as one of the villains. It's possible he could be in Spider-Man Noir with the Nick Cage. Was it Amazon? I think that's going to be on. That is a possibility. But Tombstone's getting a lot more attention than he had before. He's kind of elevating himself from I won't say a secondary. He was a secondary villain. Maybe he's like 1.5 now. If you understand what I'm saying. But let's see, 9.8 selling for $316. $316, really? For 1988, Web of Spider-Man first appearance of Tombstone, I'd rather save $50 and get the first appearance of Jocasta. Jeez, and I understand there's a big market for Spider-Man, but come on, man. I'd rather have Jocasta than Tombstone any day of the week and save money. I see this dropping. But Near Mints is selling for $25. Near Mint Plus selling for $30. Come on, that's too much. That price disparity is too much. There's no reason for that. What was this book selling for? $316. The sale before it in April, $172. But $315, $300, $299, $350, $212. These prices are all over the place. Oh, we're about a year back already at this point. Yeah, I have no faith in this one. Again, Tombstone is cool, but for less money, I would much rather have an older book, a tougher book to find at 9.8, and first appearance of a character that has not yet shown up that is going to get the attention. This character has already appeared in the Spider-Verse and in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So people that have not read the books that are not familiar got exposed to him, like, oh, I got to go get that character's first appearance in comics, the newer collectors. Whereas Jocasta has not. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see her. It just fits. So an older book with a character that hasn't appeared yet that I think is going to, I think that's the better move. Miles Morales from last week, issue number 33, the first appearance and cover of Powerlift, which is Keisha Kwan, Philomelos, and Pyra. The leg looks weird to me. Does the person have an extra knee or an extra leg? What about, do they have multiple legs? It looks like a leg coming here and then a leg here. I don't know what I'm looking at here. It's just weird. Meets the might of Powerlift. So it's a first appearance and on a cover. Another first appearance. Again, there's 15 per week. I'm just not chasing them all anymore. $20 for Near Mint plus 15 for Near Mint. It came out last week. Pass. Cover price. Either it's going to explode and she'll be a fantastic character, which I don't see, or it'll be cover price within 3 months. Next up, this one's interesting. We have issue number 126, the Vasco Georgiev 1/25, first full appearance of Captain Hollow. Now, prices here, we've got Near Mint Plus sold for 30 on the 21st, but yesterday, Near Mint sold for 100. Now, why do I say this is interesting? Captain Hollow, I don't know who that character is, but two things. One, the artwork on this cover is really, really nice. I do really like this cover. Second thing is Nightwing issue 126. How many stores bought 25 copies of issue number 126 of Nightwing, expecting the ratio variant to go up in price? This is one of those ones that could turn out to be extremely rare because stores will be like, I'm going to buy 10 copies of Nightwing. That one, I got a few people that buy it, but for the most part, it doesn't sell. And, because they can't buy 25, 50 copies of every single book every single month to get all the ratios. So this might be one of those ratios that turned out to be extremely hard to come by with really nice cover art. Now, if you get the trifecta of Captain Hollow turning out to be something really good, which, as I've said so far, is unlikely, but it is possible, then that $100 last sale is probably going to seem about right. If they do a second print, and this cover is available on a second print, even with as a black and white or slightly different color palette, then this book will not quite be as in demand because there'll be a different way to get it. Overall, I think the safest thing is to just avoid ratios altogether. And if I'm wrong, okay, so then it's one that we missed. My gut's telling me this is going to drop, but I acknowledge the fact that this could, if in a perfect storm, go up in value. So it's not going to be a bust of the week, but it's not going to be the boom of the week either. And then coming in at the number one spot, we finally made it all the way. We have Invincible, Ryan Utley, the regular issue. Wow, we just went full circle. Wasn't that? Yeah, that was no, that was at number 12. Okay. So you have the issue number 19. This is the regular. This is not the foil. This is not the Battle Beast bag preview, this, that, the other. This is just the regular issue number 19 from 2005. So this is the first appearance of Battle Beast, Magnattack, Magmaniac, and Tether Tyrant. So again, back in 2005, this is not when everybody in the world was buying Invincible. This is when Image didn't print anywhere near as much as Marvel and DC, which were overprinting at that time. So let's see what this book is doing. Its current trend is down 7%. Uh-oh, but look at this. I see Raw books. Oh my God, look at the price of this thing. Near mint plus raw 525. Near mint regular 555. Oof. Very fine's going for 250. Your 9.8 just sold a couple of days ago for 1,325. That is an all-time high. That is $300 above the fair market value. And honestly, I think this book is going to go up even higher over the next few weeks and then come back down to earth. So, if you're looking for a quick book, and this would be like a shout out to like Larry, because he's really, really good at, and I'm not saying he's going up for the quick book. No, he's really attentive when it comes to buying and selling it quickly for quick turnaround. I'm not good at that. So from my standpoint, I'm going to avoid this one like the plague. But if you're somebody that says, look, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to sell it in 6 days, or I'm going to start an auction that's going to end in 8 days, and you're like really on top of what you're doing, this could be a candidate for you. It's number one on the hot list, which means it's going to gather a lot more attention. A lot of people will look at this list right now and go, "Oh, dang! I didn't realize that this was the first appearance of Battle Beast. Everything is Battle Beast right now." And you're going to get a whole new wave of people. This book is probably over the next week, two, going to go up in price, and then as this hype drops, this book is going to drop back down again. So 1325, I would not be surprised if you didn't see 1600, 1700 for 9.8 on next week's list. All right. Your near mint 555. I would not be surprised to see that up around 800 in a week. But then in 2 months, in 3 months, I say these prices will be back down to where we see them right now. And then in 6 months, they're going to be below this. Not by a tremendous amount, though, because again, it is 2005. It's invincible, and people, I think, would be just happy to have it in their collection and would rather keep it and wait for the next wave of invincible books to go up than try to sell it and minimize a loss. It's like right now, if Godzilla books started dropping off the face of the earth, what do you call it, dropping in price, I would not be panicking and trying to sell my Godzilla #1. That one is, I love that book, and that one's staying with me. Gogeta. Okay, so now I've got to pick a boom and a bust. Well, let's see. I've talked about a couple of candidates for my bust of the week. What do I think is the worst investment at today's prices? Boy, we got a few candidates on this one. I think I'm going to try to look at this from a dollar figure and not from a percentage figure this week. So again, if there's a $10 book that it goes down to 5, it drops 50%. I'm not counting that because it's a $5 loss. But if we got a book on here that's going for 200, that is going to drop down to 140, even though that's only a 30% loss, it's still $60. So I'm going to look at this from a dollar figure this week. And again, I still got a few candidates in here. Yeesh. That one's really screaming at me to go after it. And I think I'm going to. Just because, and I've got some personal vendetta about this one anyway, because who didn't flip, see, perfect example of me not being able to flip something at the right time, whereas Larry's really good at it. I kept my Invincible Iron Man #9, and 9.8s for 155. I don't care that they sold for 1,000 when people were getting free money from the government 4 years ago. This is going to be under $100. This is going to drop about 30% of its value. I wouldn't be surprised if it even dropped more than that. So when people just say they're not interested in the character. And like I said, it sucks because she's a really, really smart, great character. I think the intelligence level in the MCU was not portrayed enough for Shuri and for Riri. I know that they were both portrayed as intelligent people, but I don't think that they delved enough into just how dang smart, how Reed Richards smart, that they actually are. And that's a shame. But But yeah, this is what I'm afraid to be our bust of the week. And I say we're going to see this dropping relatively quickly. As soon as the series drops and people realize it's like about the quality of Echo, um, nobody's going to have an interest in this. And people are going to be dropping their prices just to get them off their shelves. Now, boom of the week. I got to go with the potential on this one. I think this is going to go up in price. And yeah, Avengers 162, first appearance of Jocasta. Again, this is a 1977 book. So we're at 48 years old and 9.8 to selling for 275. I think that that's a great, great price. I mean, you can get into a 9.2. Now that was back in March. Here we go. 9.0, $47. 9.2 was 62 back in March. 130 for a 9.6. I mean, and a little CPR love, you might have a 9.8 in that. $50 for a Near Mint Raw. These are great, great prices for a well-known character that has a high potential to be in the MCU and get the exposure to take it to the next level. I think this is the sleeper of the week, and this is something that I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for. All right, so we're going to wrap this up again. Thank you to all. Well, I can't say thank you to. Well, thank you, of course, to all you service members who would be celebrating on Veterans Day and Armed Forces Day. But here's Memorial Day. It's the day that we remember those that we lost. Every single day, though, we should be remembering them and remembering the ones that served to protect and fight for the things that we cherish the most. Whether you agree with what somebody else fights for, shouldn't diminish your respect that they are fighting for it. Okay, if they're fighting for their family and the freedom of their family, they deserve respect. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll get to see you guys on Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, weekly giveaway. You know how it works here. Don't forget to check out Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics. But hey, like, subscribe, click on those notifications, and drop a comment down below. I want to know what you guys think is the best book and the worst book. And did you enjoy the good 3-day weekend? Getting into those dog days of summer coming up. That's why we got to stay in the air conditioning and read more comics. All right, until I see you guys in the next video, mahalo.